Hello children, today we will learn about adaptation in plants. According to their habitat, plants are of two types, terrestrial and aquatic. Terrestrial plants. Plants that grow on land are called terrestrial plants. Different types of terrestrial plants are adapted to different environmental conditions. Now plants growing in hilly areas. Trees in cold hilly areas are usually tall, straight and bear needle-like leaves. Such leaves allow rainwater and snow to slide off easily. For example, conifer, cedar and fir plants are some example of these. They produce cones instead of flowers. Plants growing in deserts. Deserts are the area that receive very little rainfall. Hence, only those plants that have very little water can survive here. Special features in these plants help them to survive in such conditions. In these plants, the leaves are modified into spines to prevent the loss of water. The stems are green and fleshy and do the function of leaves. It stores food and water. Cactus and date palm are some examples of desert plants. Next is aquatic plants. Some plants are growing in water and they are known as aquatic plants. Aquatic plants are of three types: floating plants, fixed plants, underwater plants. Floating plants. Floating plants have spongy bodies filled with water. The spongy body make them light and enable them to float freely in ponds and lakes. The stomata is present on the upper surface of the leaves, which is exposed to the air. Water hyacinth, Wolffia and Pistia are some examples of floating plants. Next is fixed plants. The root of these plants are fixed to the soil at the bottom of the pond. The hollow stem and broad leaves help these plants to float. The leaves of these plants are broad and have a flat surface that help them to get enough sunlight and air. Stomata are present on the upper surface of the leaves. These help these plants to absorb air for making food. The leaves have a waxy coating to prevent water from collecting on them. Fixed plants have a very flexible stem which help them to bend with the high currents of water. This prevents their breakage or damage. Lotus and water lily are examples of fixed plants. Next is underwater plants. Some plants grow below the water surface. Their narrow leaves have no stomata at all. They breathe through their body surface. They absorb the dissolved carbon dioxide from water for photosynthesis and give out oxygen for aquatic animals. That is why we use such plants in aquarium. Hydrilla and tape grass are some examples of submerged plant or underwater plant.